Can you imagine being a Christian and partaking in a traditional ritual? Bradley was an African American born and raised in the States and greatly successful. He had businesses and companies named after him, and he was doing very well for himself. One day, as a young boy in his childhood, on his grandmother's dying bed, she shared with him that their family was originally from Cotonou, Benin, and that before he passes away, he should find time to meet the people, get to know the country, and connect with his roots. Growing up, Bradley took that last statement to heart. He truly believed that to connect with his roots and connect with his ancestors, he must to visit Benin. One day, Bradley got a call from Cotonou, Benin, a guy named Oyuki. He introduced himself and said that, unfortunately, his grandfather had passed. His grandfather had been the chief of their village. And since Bradley's father is no more, Bradley was next in line to be chief in their hometown. Though Bradley's French was not the best, he understood two and two, could put a few things together, and realized that this was an opportunity he was very excited for. He was going to carry on his family's legacy, he was going to reconnect with his roots, he was going to be a part of leadership. So he agreed. He quickly started making plans and headed to Cotonou, Benin. Upon his arrival at the airport, he was greeted, "Bienvenue, bienvenue, notre chef." Everybody was celebrating him. The chiefs and leaders of the area came to greet him. Flowers and confetti were thrown at him. Bradley really felt like an important man. Oyuki took him into the village and informed him that there would be a few traditions he had to partake in. He had to see the people, the constituents, and talk a little bit. But thankfully, he does not necessarily need to live in Benin. He can do most of these things from the state, visit occasionally. Bradley was a little concerned about his faith and brought that up, saying that, he is a Christian. Would that interfere with some of the traditions? Oyuki told him, don't worry. We have had past chiefs who are Christians. We just need you to be faithful to the cause and to care for the people. This was all music to Bradley's ears, and without any additional due diligence, he agreed and started getting ready for his coronation event. On the eve of his coronation, Bradley was ushered into an altar room. There he was requested to strip, and two men clad in red from head to toe started praying and singing incantations around him. They then took a bucket of red liquid and started to smear it all over him. In his confusion, Bradley asked, "What's happening? What is this?" They informed him that this was part of the ritual ahead of the coronation day, and that this was the of 3 cow heads. A little hesitant, Bradley said, "Okay, sure." Again, the men continued to pray and chant until a third man entered the room, this time with a live chicken. With his bare teeth, he tore off the head. In that moment, Bradley said, "Oh, hell no." He ran for his life faster than he'd ever ran before. This was not something he had agreed to. He would not put his faith on the line for a chieftaincy. In his haste, Bradley packed his belongings and got the hell out of Dodge. He said, "This initiation, ritualistic things, I do not want to be part." He left, headed back to the States, deleted all the contacts he had ever gathered whilst in Benin, and attempted to put this whole ordeal behind him. Unfortunately, numbers upon numbers were reaching out to him. Everybody in Benin was calling him, texting him, wanting him to come back and finish what he had started. Though he was disappointed in not being able to carry on his father's legacy, he realized that this is not how he wanted to go about in doing it. He eventually was able to put everything behind him and continue on with his life. A year later, Bradley is happy. He's married, his businesses are doing well, and he finally began to feel free. His wedding was a private, luxurious affair in Los Angeles, California, where his cousin Brick was in charge of driving the newlyweds to their hotel location. On that night, Brick, Bradley, and his new wife got into a terrible accident. Bradley and his wife survived, but unfortunately, Brick was gone. Exactly 1 year later, Bradley received a call informing him that his half-brother Simon had passed away in a mysterious car accident. This news came as a shock to the whole family, but that was not the end. A year after that, his other cousin Gilbert also passed away in a car accident. Upon arrival at the funeral, Bradley's uncle, Uncle Clement, spoke to him and said, all these mysterious passing away of our family members is not coincidental. It is definitely spiritual. Something or someone is getting rid of our family members. He started asking Bradley a few questions, like had he heard anything? Did he know anything? Was anything strange happening to him? And in that moment, Bradley decided to confess. He shared that, yes, 3 years ago, he had gone to visit their family in Cotonou, Benin. He was scheduled to be a chief, but he didn't like some of the traditions and rituals involved and he had ran away. In fear, Uncle Clement looked at him and said, Bradley, did they do anything using... Bradley said yes. During an initiation process, they poured on me. I needed to leave. I ran away. I did not partake in it. I did not finish the ritual. Uncle Clement put his hands upon his head and said, oh, nous sommes finis. On va mourir. Toute la famille, on est mort. He told Bradley that if he had left before the initiation, before the sacrifice, before all the gore, the situation would not be this bad. Unfortunately, the initiation rituals are based off traditions and gods. That when the was smeared upon Bradley, the gods were excited, and the moment he ran away, they were angered and sought revenge. He had doomed their whole family, all the men, to mysterious deaths. Uncle Clement turned to Bradley and said, look, my son, you must find a true man of God to deliver us from this evil. Upon hearing this, Bradley went and found a true man of God to pray and break down this family altar. Today, Bradley has written a book titled The Price of Saying No, where he uses his voice to educate and break down traditional religions, informing people that some traditions are good, some are bad, and some are truly evil. And for those who have been lost in some of these traditional ritualistic endeavors, may they rest in perfect peace. And that's all we've got for you guys today. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at EntangledWebStories on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We drop a new video every single Saturday, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you in another video.